This one's about fishing with Randy, and it goes like this. The alarm goes off in the middle of the night, and Brenda rolls over with a moan. She says, "Not right now, you big stud, 'cause I know you got that fishing blood. And please, don't forget the kids when you get back home." Well, Randy picks me up for the crack of dawn, and I grab my gear with a lazy yawn. He says, "How's wife and kids? It's good to see you." With a friendly smile, he says, "Ken, I know it's been a while, but today's the day we're due." When we get there early and they say you're too late, there's 15 trucks waiting at the gate. Randy says, "Thanks for the advice, but step aside. There's fish in that river trying to hide." Well, I start to quiver and sweat, but on old Randy I place my bet, and we put in the dark and start drifting down. With all the floods and storms, the seasons change, and those rocks and stumps, they rearrange. But Randy rows his course with a seasoned eye in the pre-dawn light of that frozen sky. He rows 9-foot oars with his rod between his legs, and he's rigged with a bobber and jig and plenty of eggs. The fish start to roll, and he knows they're in there thick, and he says, "Ken, cast right there with your fishing stick." Well, Randy gets one on, and he sets the hook, and I swear that whole boat shook, and this fish, it anchors deep and starts to head shake. And that, my friend, is a sign of a big fish, and my eyes bug out, and my knees start to quake. Then it wraps itself around a log, and I said, "Man, Randy, that is quite a hog. There ain't no way you're going to get that fish in." Well, he drops the anchor and spits out a chew and gets a sly little grin. He says, "Don't worry, Ken, we ain't through." He's armed with a 2-aught hook and 30-pound test, and he's holding his own at best, and I can hear him grunting under the strain. He's got his drag set tight, and he's pulling with all his might, and I knew that fish was just too darn big and strong to tame. Well, that big old king, he swims down river, and he starts jumping, and Randy slowly reels in, and I grab the net with my heart in my throat and my blood a-pumping. Well, we netted that fish with his rod bent to the water line, and I'd never seen a better fisherman than that good old friend of mine, and Randy leaned back with contented pride, for this fish was 3 feet long and just as wide. Its gill plate glistened like jewels in the morning sun, and I congratulated him on a job well done. As I broke my gaze of disbelief, he told me what to use to my relief. He said, "I grabbed 3 spinners from the truck. Put one on, it'll change your luck." Well, Randy cast again with an aching arm, and he says, "Ken, we're here to stay. After landing that big old slab, there ain't no fish we can't play." As the sun was going down and the day was done, Randy had 19 fish to the boat, and I had 1. From the Wynoochee to the Sassep to the Queets to the Hoe, Randy hunts the biggest fish when they start to show. You know, Randy is the nicest tough guy I've ever met. In all the years we've fished together, I've never seen him lose his temper or break a sweat. He can drive 3 hours and row all day. He shows them how the big boys play. Whether the rivers run clear and cold or high and muddy, I couldn't ask for a finer fishing buddy.